Well, we like to grab racing office opinion here on Racing Post Greyhound TV, and I'm very pleased to say I'm joined by joint racing manager at Toaster, Andy Lisemore. Andy, how's things? I'm sure you're very busy.
Always busy, mate. Always busy. But yeah, loving it. To be fair, it's been a great competition thus far, and I'm very much looking forward to the quarterfinals on Saturday.
Yeah, of course, you guys are hosting this year's Derby, and we're officially halfway through, and so far so good, mate.
Yeah, so far so good. It's to be fair, it's flown by. There's a lot of preparation beforehand, lots of trials and preparations, getting ready for the Derby itself. But we're nearly there. I can almost taste that Derby lunch.
Well, yeah, that's on the 5th of July. Derby
that.
lunch. Good luck to everyone. Of course, hoping it's an achievement in itself, Andy, isn't it, just to get to the final?
Well, that's it. Yeah, and a lot has been written in the past of that all the finalists enjoy the week, and let's say they're nearly there. Quarterfinal stage, nearly there, folks.
Absolutely right. Only 23 remain. We've unfortunately lost Form Rebel, who's been withdrawn lame. But we'll go through the quarterfinals, Andy, if that's all right, and maybe grab a selection out of yourself. Unfortunately, James Chalkley, your partner in crimes, cried off today. I'm not sure what. I'm sure he's probably just busy. As it's your, I don't know whether it's your day off or whatever. I've caught you on a Wednesday when you're not racing anyway. But we'll tackle the 4 quarterfinals. Okay, so. First up is the 8:34 on Saturday night at Toaster. It's the first of the 4 Greyhound Derby quarterfinals. Andy Lisemore joins me, who's the joint racing manager at Toaster, and the defending champion is going to be a warm order here, Dear Jet City in Trap 3, isn't he?
Well, yeah, rightly so. I mean, what a story it'd be. He's been sensational thus far. Sensational last year, sensational this. I think the people are going with the story. Short enough, I think, in the betting odds on. Listen, what a story it would be. And it'd be great for the Derby itself if he could continue to make waves for Pat Buckley. Obviously, got Forest Gold in one. In one, the dreaded one. Can he ping out of one? Why not? He certainly hasn't put a foot wrong thus far, Forest Gold. Toolmaker Sydney's got a 29.13 in his locker in Trap 2. He can run. Cold as Ice, sure to be staying on well as well. You wouldn't sort of rule him out qualifying. Pacemaker Ted probably make the early running. And Drumcrow Brent in 6. He's got a never say die attitude. You wouldn't rule him out qualifying either. So all in all, a very interesting first quarterfinal. But probably the class act is the Jet Sydney, defending champ. I guess you've got to go with him.
Yeah, I don't want to dwell too much on the traps themselves, Andy, and plenty of talk about the inside box and whether dogs are coming away. But dogs are certainly coming away well out of Trap 3, aren't they? And he's going to need a fast start here because he's going to be heading across, isn't he? The dog in the white jacket, the defending champion, the Jet Sydney.
And like I say, there's plenty of pace on his inside as well. So he will need a ping break. But yeah, seemingly Trap 3 is the trap to have.
And a quick word on Drumcrow Brent out wide in Trap 6, flying the flag for the local team. Mark Wallace's only runner left in, but he runs the track ever so well.
Yeah, and he's gutsy. Never say die attitude, I guess is what you say about him. And like I say, booked him for a solo on the outer. If he doesn't qualify, I'd probably be surprised. He's that sort of dog. He never runs a bad race.
I mean, the draw looks good for Cold as Ice. Jimmy Fennick's charge. He's established himself as a top stayer. What have you made of the Black Jacket runner so far?
Well, again, probably does his best work in the second half. But again, another one, you could not rule him out qualifying. He's one of those, he's still improving, I guess, as well. Was he May 19? Perhaps the best is yet to come with Cold as Ice, but certainly runs the track well. And yeah, sure to be staying on.
So who are we looking at as the other qualifiers then, Andy? You've sort of hinted that you fancy Dear Jet Sydney to maybe trap out, make the bend and be away and gone. Who follows him home?
It's tough. I guess you got to say Drumcrow Brent. I say on the draw, and he is a gutsy individual. And well, listen, the other local Toaster runner in one, Kevin Hutton's Forest Gold. Let's hope for Pat to win it and a Toaster 2 and 3 to qualify.
Okay, very very biased view there.
Absolutely,
you're falling in love with the defending champion, but you're flying the flag for Toaster as well with the other qualifiers. That's the 8:34 on Saturday night, live on Racing Post Greyhound TV. Well, the 8:51 on Saturday night at Toaster is the second Greyhound Derby quarter-final live on Racing Post Greyhound TV. Joint racing manager Andy Lisemore from Toaster joins me. And unfortunately, Andy, only 5 go to traps here. earlier this week we saw the unfortunate withdrawal of Form Rebel.
Yeah, obviously Richard Yates rang us in the week to report stop a bone injury for Form Rebel. Obviously he was gutted. I'm gutted. I'm gutted for him. Gutted for the connection as well. The loveliest set of owners you could ever meet. The War family and the O'Sullivans as well. And I think Marius Gregor is involved as well. They really support their greyhound. And I was gutted for them that he can't take part.
Yeah, and his omission now is going to make Six a big player, isn't it? Here, the powerhouse that is Brendan Matthews. Unlock. She's already one of the stories of the Derby so far, having whelped that litter. And she's running the track ever so well now. She's certainly taken to it, hasn't she?
She's the one they're all talking about, and you can see why. I mean, if she's there or thereabouts off that last bend, we talk about the Derby Roar. It'll be the quarterfinal Derby Roar. There won't be a bigger noise on the night. She's been thrilling her fans, and again, let's hope she can continue for the Derby's sake. She's been sensational.
Yeah, she's second in the market to the track record holder Bocco's Belly, who's back into trap 3, of course, the trap in which he broke the track record from. What did you make of his run last week, Andy? Because he was very slow to stride. He didn't really show much to the corner, but he ran a big race just to qualify.
Well, yeah. Listen, again, I think I'm not quite sure how many races he's had. He's still pretty green. I'm just looking at his record now. 10 runs. So he's still learning his trade, as it were. But listen, when he's good, we've all seen it. He's very, very good. Track record speaks for itself. We love the Belly at Toaster. But again, he's got his kennel mate on his inside, Aussie captain. Will Belly be able to get clear? Don't know. We hope so. And it could be game on, couldn't it? But he takes some cash on unlock, or whoever. If the Belly leads, the Belly will win.
What do you make of New In Session on the inside? I mean, came into this Derby with top class Irish form. Was one-time anti-post favourite for last year's Derby. Not really firing on all cylinders, but still there.
No, exactly. Has done enough, but listen, perhaps you haven't seen the best of him yet. If the real New In Session turns up, then again, what a race it could be. Listen, I think he's done enough to qualify. Certainly wasn't disgraced in behind Signet Ace last time. Perhaps the best is yet to come from New In Session. If it is, then game on.
Yeah, we talk about lightly raced greyhounds. There's not many coming into this Derby more lightly raced than Aussie captain in Trap 2 for the champion trainer, Patrick Janssens, and just seems to be coming forward with every run.
Well, this is it. Yeah, I would say new to the Patrick Janssen range, and yes, has improved with every run thus far. Again, how good can he be? Is he going to be? I guess we'll find out Saturday. But two interesting Patrick Janssen runners there. Could be a clash early doors. I'm just hoping Belly can get around.
Okay, well, I'm actually fancying Gaytime Milo in this race, Andy. A big price. I think is too much early speed on, and with a fast start might get off the front at a big price. Where are you pinning your colours?
I mean, listen, he's been a consistent sort of Gaytime Milo, and again, I certainly wouldn't rule him out qualifying, but we love the Belly at Toaster. He's a track record holder. Let's keep this one local. Belly to smash out, clear Aussie captain early doors, and be interested to see what the clock says. Obviously, unlock. We'd love to see her qualify as well, because what story that's been. But I just think Belly could get first run, and if he does, then it'll take some catching.
Yeah, certainly would. And just a quick word on the track, Andy. We certainly, on the eye, seemed a little bit slower for the third round than what we'd seen in the second round. Are we expecting similar conditions for the quarters?
Yeah, I would have thought so. There was, we've got Dave Cullen from Henlow. He's joined the track team as well. It's in ace condition, but I think it has slowed down from those initial couple of rounds. That's fair to say. But there's been no complaints, and certainly the racing's been good. But listen, it will be safe and fair. That's the main thing. But perhaps a little slower than those opening rounds. But the main thing is it will be safe. But not flying.
Well, the third of the 4 Greyhound Derby quarterfinals on Saturday night, live on Racing Post Greyhound TV from Toaster, is arguably, the betting suggests, the most open of all 4 of the qualifiers. And joint racing manager Andy Lisemore joins me. Andy, where do we start here? Obviously, Ballymac Fair One's been very, very impressive, but this is wide open.
Yeah, I think punters will need their lucky pin for this one. Let's say Ballymac Fair One. He's grown in stature throughout the competition. Lovely stamp of a dog. and he's getting better and better. Certainly can rule him out. Thorn Falcon, probably the main market rival, beaten for the first time last time. How will he react? It wouldn't put it past him bouncing back with a win. Plenty of early speed in 4 and 5. Probably made them all about Ted. Just where they might tangle early doors. And if they did, perhaps the Falcon could swoop on the outside. Got Kalara Lion in there, the ultimate competition dog. He hasn't really done anything thus far in the Derby, but he keeps qualifying. Can he go through again? And obviously, Mingler's Popeye wasn't disgraced last time behind Knuckleball Sid. So, very interesting heat. Very wide open, like you say. But I'm a big fan of Thorn Falcon. Like I say, beaten last time, but I'm hoping he can bounce back.
Yeah, he was beaten, but he certainly didn't down tools, did he? I mean, during the maiden derby, he didn't have things his own way, but he was headed. But I felt he battled on really, really well.
Yeah, and another one, again, lightly raced. That was his 6th run in the country last week. And okay, the first time he's been beaten, but listen, throughout that KB maiden derby, he was sensational. He's been basically foot perfect in the first couple of rounds before last week as well in the derby itself, and he does look well drawn on the outside. Let's say 4 and 5. I've got plenty of early, might well lead him early doors, but I could see them tangling and then Falcon coming around the outside.
What did you make of All About Ted? I mean, he's in good hands. Peter Cronin has got a knack and a talent of getting his dogs to Derby finals. Certainly the likes of Whoops Jack and Crocus Champ, etc. In recent years. He certainly took a step forward last week, didn't he?
Well, he's got some early, but say the worry is Bubbly Magnum also has on his inside. So I don't know. I'm hoping it's not scrappy. Hopefully Bubbly Magnum All About Ted could maybe burst clear and they wouldn't be bothered. But I just got to worry they might come together slightly. And if that does happen, then perhaps that could play into the paws of a Thorn Falcon, or indeed Ballamat Fair one on the inside. It'd be staying on as well. But a very interesting heat, this one.
We will need to tread carefully early on Thorn Falcon because he's a dog that likes to cut in at the turn. But it sounds like you're going for him, Handy, and you're expecting him to get a clear run out wide.
Yes, yeah, like I say, perhaps mainly the luck in running, but listen, he's a class animal. Patrick has always spoken of him in the highest order, and he's a fair judge. So we'll stick with Falcon to land this third quarter final.
Well, the lucky last on Saturday night is the 9:27 at Toaster. It's the 4th and final Greyhound Derby quarter final, and Pat Buckley's Knocknable Sid is certainly going to be contesting favouritism. He burst back to life in the 3rd round last week in emphatic fashion off the front. And Lisemore joins me, the joint racing manager at Toaster. And what did you make of that run, Andy?
Well, I think you called it right, burst into life. He certainly did. A 4-10 split, away and gone. It was a switch to the middle, I guess, that helped him as well. And yeah, it certainly looks the one to beat in this seat. If he can trap like that again, perhaps he could be the one to even go all the way. But certainly the switch to a middle seat certainly helped Knocknable Sid.
Yeah, certainly got him out of the boxes. I was at the track and I had a chat with Pat after the race, and I said, I'm not sure it was just the switch to the middle seat. And he said, was a touch of Irish magic in there as well. And there was a glint in his eye. So perhaps, he's coming forward now, Knocknable Sid. And he looks a big player, doesn't he, Andy, in this derby?
Absolutely. If you can keep trapping like that, then the world is oyster. And let's say got the machine on his inside. He'll certainly lead that one up. Ballamat Wild, not the greatest of trappers either. Signet Ace in one has obviously got a bit of pace to the corner, but Knocknable Sid, you'd imagine, if he can trap in similar style to how he did in that last round, could well be away and gone here.
It's a fascinating race. I mean, there's been lots of talk about the inside trap. I spoke to Kevin Hutton on Saturday, and he mentioned that back on the 28th of May, he trialled Signet Ace out of trap 1, and his words were he flew out. So I'm sure they'll be hoping for that again. You can see on the race card a 4:14 sectional. And should he come away, he's the dog that has been going to the corner the best in this derby. He's undefeated. And he's got that 4:09 sectional. Who's to say he can't get off the front here, Andy?
Oh, he certainly couldn't rule it out. But like I say, Knocknable Sid was quite sensational in that previous round. So listen, early fireworks from that pair from the get-go. I guess whoever wins that early duel should probably win this heat.
Okay, and interesting in runner, a lot of the firms have got huge each-way liabilities racking up on Beach Avenue. A dog that quietly going about his business, just qualifying. He's obviously in good hands. Paul Hennessy bidding to become the first man to train 3 Derby winners at 3 different venues. How do you see his chances, and and how he's been performing?
Well, listen, we're all talking about unlock, coming fast and late on the outside. Obviously, Beach Avenue, similar sort of style, perhaps not quite as eye-catching, but certainly sticks to his guns in those latter stages. And again, drawn wide is likely, at the very least, to keep qualifying. And as to say, he couldn't catch those early birds.
Yeah, 3 silver medals so far. He'd be one for full cast and tri-cast punters to wipe, certainly, wouldn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. And so talking about early birds, we've got Adele Duke in there as well. Throw him into the mix early doors as well. Like I say, it could be all over in a flash, this race, but like I say, Beach Avenue perhaps running on to grab one of the minors.
So who are we going for, Andy?
It's got to be the Sid. It's got to be the Sid. Like I said, the way he flew out in that third round, assuming he can do it again, and I have no doubt he can. And Mr. Buckley at the helm, knocked the ball Sid to make all.
Well, we've enjoyed the Greyhound Derby at Toaster, every race of every round live on Racing Post Greyhound TV. Even more big race action to come in the coming weeks, though, with 1 or 2 competitions kicking off, of course, Saturday the 10th of July for the final. But the supporting card promises to be a cracker as well. And to look forward to that, I'm being joined by the joint racing manager at Toaster, Andy Lisemore. Andy, busy times recently and busy times ahead.
Well, absolutely, yeah. As well as the Derby quarterfinals on Saturday, we've got the RPG TV Derby Plate kicking off as well. It's only for 24 dogs, but we had a big entry, I think 40 plus in the book. So apologies to those that didn't get in. Few sort of stellar names in there. Obviously, Diamond Lisa, Paul Young has been flying around in trials. Didn't perhaps see his best in the Derby, but he's a useful sort. Knowing Jacko, class act. Jack Solution recently won an A1 after getting knocked out of the Derby. That takes some doing around Toast to win an A1. Don't have many. Ivy Hill Sky Highs in the plate as well, another local favourite. Angry Dad, first round winner for Peter Cronin. Frankie's Jet as well for Gary Ferguson. So plenty of well-known names in the Derby plate, and a wide open competition.
Yeah, £5,000 up for grabs there. And he got a selection for us in that. Anything catch the eye?
Listen, maybe Frankie's Jet, like I say, showed some decent early boot in the Derby itself. So maybe Frankie's Jet, but to be honest, a bit like the Derby, still itself, it's pretty wide open.
Yeah, I mean, I've been getting excited by the Derby, as you say, but just looking down at the list of competitions to come, we're in for a real treat in the coming weeks. RPGTV Watling Street Sprint, £3,000 up for grabs there. RPGTV Notebook Ladies, a bitches competition, £3,000 there. You've got again, Greyhound Nutrition 6 Bend competition. The Durando is a 2-round competition, £3,000. British Bred Champion Stakes, £3,000. And then, as I mentioned, £1,000 one-offs. I'm sure you've seen some stellar lineups in just the trial sessions alone, Andy, in recent weeks.
Well, yeah, so entries are trickling at the moment, but trials are well underway. I know Simon Harms has just bought a crack sprinter for your sprint competition there. Loggies Extra, I believe he's called. He did a 15.80 on a trial the other day. Obviously, the Durando, it'll be hotting up. We had the one-off marathon the other day, Savannah Volcano. I think Kevin and Diane Emery will be looking to stake their claim on the old Durando as well. Obviously, Mark Wallace's Superstar, the Amda Dog, will be back for that as well. But all happening. Let's say all the distances. We've got a new set of traps going in as well for the full 70. So the heats of that the week before the Derby final, and obviously the final of that on the night as well. Those traps aren't yet in, but people are booking trials for the 470. So I'm hoping they'll be in the next couple of days. The concrete was down a week or so ago, so those 470 traps will be in soon. But yeah, plenty of trials, plenty going on other than the Derby at Toaster.
Yeah, and just quickly, Andy, it doesn't stop with the Derby either, because I also see heats on the 9th of July, which is the day before the Derby final, of a £12,500 juvenile classic as well. So a big puppy competition coming up.
Yeah, been a bit of interest in that already. I know the weather rules of trialing one. I can't remember the dog's name, but maybe
it's not the Trump's Benefit aeroplane, is it?
Could well. But listen, if it's the weather rules, it'll be an aeroplane, won't it? I'm sure. But there's been a fair bit of interest in that. Angela Harrison's trialing a couple next week, I think, as well. But yeah, the fun don't stop with the Derby. Plenty coming up at Toaster.